What kind of car do you have?
I have a demo.
How much are your payments?
I have a demo.
What kind of car do you drive?
I drive a 2011 Corolla.
What are the payments?
$399.
What kind of car do you drive?
I'd say it's
What are the payments?
all cash, so no payments.
What kind of car do you drive?
I got the Elantra in 2023.
What are the payments?
300. Come get me.
What kind of car do you drive?
2022 Hyundai Palisade,
What are your payments?
7.
What kind of car do you drive?
This one, but the seats.
What are your payments?
You don't want to know.
What kind of car do you drive?
2009 Honda Civic,
What are your payments?
$542 a month.
So I think that last one was lie. I mean, I don't mean to call her out right away, but I think she just messed around for 542. I don't think that's realistic, even if it was a used car. But regardless, we saw some really good payments there. I mean, this video again to just go over like some car videos and just people's payments and everything, and kind of just give my feedback, see what you guys think of this as well. And yeah, let's just see how it goes. But
What are you driving? What's your car payment?
I drive a 2020 Corolla and I paid $300.
What are you driving? What's your payment?
I drive a 2022 Toyota Tundra. I pay $625 a month.
What are you driving? What's your car payment?
I got a 2024 Grand Highlander. I pay $1,200 a month.
What are you driving? What's your payment?
I have a 22 4Runner TRD off-road with no car payment. I paid cash.
What are you driving? What's your payment?
I have a 2024 Toyota Limited 4Runner and I pay $572 a month.
so I mean, we saw a couple there. I'm gonna go back to that 1200 one. I mean, that one's probably their highest that we've seen so far. We've seen higher ones in other videos, but wow, 1200 for a car payment is really high. I know there's a Wagoneer in there as well too, which can be pretty pricey depending how you spec them out. But yeah, I think the Wagoneer was like 600. Sorry, I paused there for a bit, but I think that's not bad. Again, for what the car is and everything, it is a big SUV and everything, so you probably get a lot there. But again, try to keep those payments lower. That's what I would recommend. Don't try to have like really insane car payments. Again, it's not just the car payment as usually here. It's always like you have your insurance, and then you also have gas, of course, too. So let's say even if that Wagoneer, let's just say it was 600, let's just say you're gonna spend like another 150, 200 in gas, let's just say per month. So you're already at like 800, and then do insurance. Another 200, let's just say best case scenario, if you're a little older and more years of driving experience, you're still going to be paying 1,000 for basically commuting in that vehicle. Again, I give people the benefit of the doubt that sometimes you get like really nice car, it's like your dream car, you get to enjoy, drive it every day or whatever it may be, but having a high car payment is not always the best thing to have, especially in today's economy. Try to keep it lower and try to just pay it off and just hold on to it for a little longer, or get a used car that's like 3 years old, which I think is like, in my opinion, like the best time when most of the depreciation's gone, and you can still kind of enjoy a really new vehicle. But let's see a couple more.
What are you driving? What's your payment?
I drive a Mercedes and I have no payment because my parents bought me my first car.
And before we move on to the next one, I actually want to say, as soon as I heard Mercedes, like, oh shoot, I think you might have got like a really nice Mercedes. It could even be like an E-Class, let's just say, or a C-Class. And again, even a base C-Class is like low 40, so even spec'd out and everything, and taxes be like 50K, you're gonna be close to like $1,000 payment, assuming you don't put too much down and you have like good credit score. So again, for all these videos, I'm just gonna assume like really good credit score and something about like 60, 72 months. You could go longer, 84, 96. Even I've heard some people do 144 month leases, which I don't recommend, but again, it's just something they throw out there. But it doesn't mean, just because it's available, doesn't mean you should buy it for it.
Driving? What's your payment?
2023 TRD Camry is paid off.
What are you driving? What's your payment?
Crown, Toyota Crown Platinum. It's $590.
What are you driving? What's your payment?
I drive a TRD Camry. Payments $550 a month.
So we actually saw 2 TRD Camrys there. One on $550, I forgot the payment of the other one, but $550 means you owe about like, let's say with decent interest rate, let's say about 6-ish, 72 months. You owe about like 30, 40K. So, I mean, that's about the whole car's worth, right? I might be doing my math wrong, but I think that's about there. So I'm not gonna say it's reasonable. I will say if it is the newer Camrys, you get the hybrid, so you do get about like 50 mpg average. So you're spending less in gas. You could say, you can kind of say you could spend a little bit more on the car note in terms of like the car payment, because you are saving on gas and you don't have to worry as much about spending. And also being a Camry, I mean, again, it's one of the most reliable vehicles out there. So your maintenance as well is going to be something that's not going to be too expensive. And again, I haven't even clocked in that for the other one where I clocked in like the monthly payment, insurance, gas. There's still going to be maintenance, which again, your car will break down. And unfortunately, sometimes it can be really expensive, especially once you get into like more luxury vehicles, whatever, Mercedes, BMW, Audi, it might be nice to drive around, but when something breaks down, it's not going to be as cheap to fix as like a Camry, unless of course you do it on your own. But even then, sometimes those parts are pretty pricey.
For anyone that has a new car that bought within a year that has a 5, 6, or 7% interest rate, what is your car payment? Because I had a BMW before this Tesla and my payment was $850, and that was a lot to me. So me going from $850 to $600 was a savings for me. So yeah, how much do you pay? And it has to be a new car. Don't come at me with...
I know this is in like a couple of videos broken down. There's just like one person's payment. I mean, it's kind of just like, again, even she has an interest. So it's like, that's why I kind of make these videos for you guys as well too. Kind of give my feedback as well too. I'll break down like a couple of her comments, but just like, yeah, some people's car payment, especially when you're like at 5, 6, 7%. I mean, my first car, to be honest, thinking about, I had like 5.14% at first. I did eventually like refinance, lower rate and everything to just, yeah, obviously just get a better rate, owe less in the end. I think in the end it helped me out, saving quite a bit, not like a ton, but you do save money. I think I went from like 5.14 to like 3.6 or something like that. But again, I saved money. So again, whenever rates go lower, I'd always recommend, if you can, refinance. Especially if you think that's gonna be like the bottom of like the interest rates, I'd say if you can refinance, go to like those third-party banks or a lender. Sometimes even your own bank, but typically not the big banks will give you the best interest. It seems to be it's always the smaller companies, which I guess has its own risk on its own. Maybe that's why it's cheaper too. But again, like some of the comments for like this one, like scrolling down below, we see someone saying they have a 2024 Mazda CX-5, paying $424 at 3.9% interest, which is not bad. That means about, you should probably finance the whole thing at 3.9% interest. I mean, that's really nice. I see someone has a 99 Honda, $0, $34 a month of insurance. So that's probably paid off and just they're only paying just for insurance, which again, when you have an older vehicle, there's not too expensive, especially when you have just liability and not full coverage. It can be pretty cheap. And surprisingly, we have another Mazda in here. 2024 Mazda CX-50, 0 down, 1.9% interest, and with Gap it's $520. So CX-50, sorry about that. They're paying $520, which is a little bit high, but they do have a really low interest rate. I mean, I would just keep that and probably just hold on to that. As long as it's reliable and gives you pretty good efficiency and has like the features you want. Even if it doesn't have the features you want, I'd say still hold on to like that interest rate. Again, pay it off slowly. Maybe invest your money or whatever you need to do, whatever it might be. Maybe you're focused on school or this and that. Keep that 1.9% interest as long as you can. That's a really nice number. Or as we saw the other previous one at 0%, which is a fake one. But yeah, I mean, again, some people are gonna have really like high interest rates, which again, I know as you have a high credit score, tend to help out a ton. Sometimes you don't have a good credit score, or sometimes you're young, you maybe even just finished school, high school or college, whatever it might be. Your credit score might be pretty new if you haven't messed with it too much, if you haven't messed with like credit cards. Sorry about my hands down here. But I think if you can co-sign with your parents, it always helps out a ton because it kind of like borrows their interest rate as well too. So, or basically their interest rate kind of like benefits you in terms of like, instead of you doing it on your own, signing on your own, and sure it'll benefit your credit score. Sometimes you get a co-sign with your parents, again, if they're willing to, of course, they're not expected to, but instead of, let's say, getting like 10% interest rate, you get like 7, which might not sound like a ton, but again, the 3% money can go to gas or other things, whatever. Maybe you want to modify your car, add some neon lights on the bottom, new wheels or whatever that might be. Again, it's always good when you can co-sign, but again, it's not always a feature or an option you can have with your parents. But if you can, it's always nice. But besides that, if you guys enjoyed the video, try to keep these short and try to mash these out. Get out 2 a week if you're watching this. Keep me to this. If not, I don't know what to say, but I'll try to do 2 of these minimum, if not 3 if you guys enjoy these. But again, till next time, like and subscribe. Till the next video.